What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here today for a quick grading submission preview, and we got a two for one deal. We got some cards going off to PSA and a card going off to CSG. So we're just dumping this all into one video. Like, comment, subscribe. You guys, girls know the drill. Let's go ahead and dive into the PSA stuff first. These are 4 cards that I am sending at the new value level service. $30 per card. I'll get them back sometime October, November, most likely. I am perfectly fine with that because of the cards that I am sending. Anyone that's watched the channel knows I ripped a box of 2022 Bowman Sapphire a couple weeks ago, and I pulled an orange out of 50 for a first and a first auto. So that's some of the stuff that's going to be going, along with a couple just base cards from 2020 Sapphire. So let's kind of run through these real quick. I pulled a bunch of first Sapphires out of that box, just the base ones. So what I did was I actually just went through eBay sold listings and looked for the guys that were selling for the most. There was 2 guys that were like between $5 and $10 for raw on their base. So I figured, let's just send those 2. I know nothing about any of these guys, to be honest. I did a little bit of research on some of them, but so the first one is Joshua Baez from the St. Louis Cardinals. And I'm not going to lie, I have no idea how these cards are going to grade. I am not good about centering on these. I looked over surface, corners, and edges really quick. I did not spend a ton of time looking these over. Maybe 30 to 45 seconds per card, which is probably the same amount of time they're going to spend on them. So we'll see how we do here, kind of flying in the blind. But at $30, I'm willing to take some chances. So no idea what this would even sell for in a PSA 10, if I would sell it right away or just hold on to it for a while. I have no idea. I'm in uncharted territory here. So we got Joshua Baez up first. Robert Campos from the Detroit Tigers. And then the 2 bigger ones, the Denzer Guzman, the orange out of 50. Obviously a really great looking card. I'm a little concerned about, I have a feeling this one might 9. There were some print lines on the front. I don't know how they treat print lines in Sapphire. And then the Aberson Arteaga first Bowman auto. Raw, these are doing about $60. Give or take, at present. And he actually seems like he's a little talented. Like, he actually could be pretty decent. Guzman, I don't know as much about. I think raw, these are doing about $30. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, for $30 a card, I am willing to roll the dice. And because it's first Bowman prospects, I am perfectly fine not getting these things back until the winter. These are cards that I would probably, depending on what the pricing were on them when I got them back, if there's even comps for them, would probably actually just sit on them until January, February, March, when that kind of prospecty season starts to heat up a little bit that time of year. So those are heading off. The next one, and this was the one that's going to CSG. This was a recent purchase from the Midwest Monster. It is the Ken Griffey Jr. Topps Tribute purple out of 10 is going to CSG. I already have this card in a PSA 9. So we're sending this bad boy off. I was going to send it. I could have sent it economy. It met the declared value. Declared value on this is about $500 in my opinion. It met the declared value for that, but I wanted to try to get this back before the National. And the standard tier is 15 days grading. So I'm hoping I could get it back prior to the National. I'm going to be cutting it close. Now, I'm not looking to necessarily move this card, but I might potentially want to move one of them depending on what this grades. Now, I am grading the card only, not the auto. I did have some concerns here. You could see on this, the long section has a little bit of a streak. It's not bad. I've seen it way worse, but I have no idea how CSG grades autos. And I'm not a big auto grade guy, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. So this whole submission is me flying blind. I was a little concerned about some stuff down here on the junior as well. So it's not terrible. I compared it to this one, and this one does look a lot better. And this has a 10 auto. This line is hardly streaky at all. It's not really at all. And then this looks really solid, his junior. On this one, it's got some real faint streaking, very faint. And like I said, I think this could 10. I'm more concerned about this section than this. But regardless, I did not pay for the extra auto grade. So I think it's $2 to grade the auto. But I just want the card graded and encapsulated. And the biggest reason why I'm sending this to CSG, I've talked about this before a bunch. I really like the CSG slabs, and I would like to keep one of these cards in the PC as a Griffey auto, and I would potentially be open to moving this one, depending on what this one comes back and how it looks in the case and everything. So by getting this one graded with CSG, it kind of frees me up to do some stuff with this one. And because I'm grading this with CSG for PC purposes, I don't necessarily care that it's not going to do much on the resale value side of things, depending on what it came back. If this came back at 10, it would actually probably bump it quite a bit. But the fact that I have this in a 9, 10, and a PSA slab makes this, from a liquidity standpoint, pretty easy to move. So I think I would be able to move this at the National in trade bait potential. Griffey autos are always in demand. Or I would be perfectly fine holding on to it. Having 2 Ken Griffey Jr. autos is not the worst place to be. So, initial impressions. Another reason, too, was just to experience the CSG grading process firsthand. I don't trust, as sad as this sounds, I don't think PSA grades thick cards fairly. I'm going to give CSG a chance on this one. I think this has a shot at a 10. It does look pretty good, especially for a thicker card. I looked it over. I took it out of the mag, looked it over, wiped some parts of it off. It does look pretty solid. So I think this has an outside shot at a 10. I hate to get too cute on stuff like that when it's on thicker cards, because they are trickier. The edges are a lot thicker. The corners are a lot chunkier. A lot of stuff could go wrong with it. But I do think it looks pretty solid. Surfaces definitely looks pretty clean, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. That's going to go off to them. And like I said, part of it was I just wanted to kind of try out their process and kind of see how it all went and played out. So this is heading out the door today. I'm recording this on Friday before the 4th of July. Not sure when the actual video will go up. These are heading out today. And we'll just kind of see what happens. See if I can get this one back before the National. Or even if I don't have this back in hand, if I could get the grades to pop. Because then I would know kind of a better idea on what I want to do with this. So we'll see what happens. I'll talk about the whole process start to finish once I get it back. I'll say quickly, their online submission forms seemed fine. I did not have any significant issues with it. A couple things I liked, a couple things I didn't like, but once again, I'll kind of save that for when I get the card back in hand and do like a full recap of the whole process. So that's what I got going out. Like I said, nothing too crazy. A Ken Griffey Jr. auto and some first Bowman prospects that I am completely clueless on. I have some Marvel cards I thought about sending, but I'm kind of waiting to see what CGC/CSG are going to do with that product. I have a pretty good idea what they're going to do. Just playing the waiting game. But I have a subset of 2015 Fleer Retro, the 1990 MU throwback insert set. I have the full set of 18 cards that I would really like to get graded, but I'm not grading in the resale, so I don't know that I want to pay the premium for PSA at $30 a card, at least at this point. If they drop that to like $15 a card, I would send them their way, but I kind of like the idea of possibly having them in a CSG or CGC label. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's all I have for you guys and girls today. We'll see how this one goes. Like I said, really flying in the dark on this one. YOLO, as the kids say. I don't know. Do the kids still say that? I have no idea. I'm old. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys and girls in the next one. Peace.